The sky gets all gray, you feel that first little drop of rain, and then it begins. A whole chorus of ribbit, croak, ribbit. So, are they just super excited for the rain? Or is there maybe something else going on?
Well, to find the real answer, we're going to take a trip all the way across the world to South Korea, because that's where this amazing old story comes from. It's all about a little frog who made a great big mistake. Okay, so a long, long time ago, right next to a beautiful, sparkly river, there lived a little green frog and his mom.
Now, this little frog was a good guy. He really was. But he had this one little teeny tiny, kind of silly habit. No matter what his mom told him to do, he would do the exact opposite.
So, for example, if his mom said, "Oh, sweetheart, look over there to the left. There's a big juicy beetle. Go get it."
You guessed it, boing.
He'd take a giant leap with all his might, straight to the right.
He just couldn't help himself.
Or if she saw a big, scary bird flying overhead and whispered, "Shh, my dear, we need to be very, very quiet right now. Hide in the grass."
What do you think he'd do? Yep, he'd puff up his throat, take a huge breath, and let out the biggest, loudest croak you've ever heard. It drove his poor mom nuts.
So his mother worried about him every single day. And as the years went by, she grew older. Then one day, she became very, very sick. She knew she didn't have much time left, so she called her son over. She pulled him close, and in a soft, quiet whisper, she gave him one last request. She said, "My son, when I'm gone, please promise you'll bury me right by the river." Wait, by the river? The little frog was so confused. That's a terrible spot. I mean, what happens when it rains really hard and the river floods? Why on earth would his mom ask him to do that? And then it was like a light bulb went on in his head. And when he realized what his mom had been thinking, his heart just sank. It was a really sad feeling.
You see, she had a secret plan. She knew he always did the opposite, so she told him to bury her by the dangerous river because she was hoping he would do the opposite one last time and bury her up on the nice, safe mountain.
For the first time in his whole life, the little frog felt so much regret. He felt just awful. And he made a promise to himself right then. He said, "This time, this one time, I'm going to do exactly what my mom asked." And so, with a really heavy heart, he didn't do the opposite. He listened to her words, and he buried his mother right there on the bank of the river, just like she'd said. But not long after, the sky started to get dark, and big gray clouds rolled in. And then, drip, drop, the rain started. And it didn't just drip, it poured. It was a huge storm.
The little frog watched in terror as the river started to get bigger and faster. The water got higher and higher, and it started creeping closer and closer to where his mother was buried.
He was so scared. He thought the river was going to wash his mother's grave away, all because he finally listened. He couldn't stand it, so he sat there by the rushing water, crying out, "Croak! Croak!" worried sick about what would happen. And that, so the story goes, is why frogs croak when it rains. It's not a happy song at all. It's a worried cry. A little reminder of that frog who still worries his mother's grave might get washed away in the storm. So, it's a bit of a sad story, right? But it actually has a really, really important message for all of us. The little frog learned his lesson the hard way. It's so important to listen to the people who love you and take care of you. He wished so badly he could go back in time and just listen. And that's what his rainy day croak is all about.
So let me ask you, who are the people in your life that you listen to? Your parents, your teachers, your grandparents? You know, the people who give you advice to help you out?
And here's one last thing to think about. Can you remember a time when you listened to someone and it turned out to be a really good thing? See, listening is kind of like a superpower. And the story of the little green frog is the perfect reminder of how important it is to use that superpower every single day.